All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are, can you believe it, back once again for what seems to be the 32nd episode of Let's Build a Web App. I think, whew, I think we might go up to 60 episodes before we actually have a beta. That's my current theory. I've been thinking about it a little bit about how long it's going to take. So we've put in probably around 65 hours on stream, and then probably going to continue on for another 10, 15 off, maybe 20. We're going to get there pretty soon. But all right, cool. Anyhow, fun stuff. So before we get started, I'd like to do a shout out to my latest course, bestseller in the front-end web development category, the 100 front-end interview questions challenge to help you nail those front-end interviews so you can go and kill the game, interview well, learn a few things, and learn things more in depth. And if you're interested in it, there's a link in the description. You get it for just $9.99. All right, now that we've done that, let's go ahead and get our text editor open. So we need to do a couple things. One, we need to write better tests for this. Two, we need to update our get category service to do some stuff. So basically where we left this off last night was, didn't I push? Okay, cool. Basically where we left it, all right, sorry Tito, you're too hot, buddy. We left it off where we weren't completely done with updating our category service. And so that's, my cat farted. That's going to be where we continue. So let's go ahead and do a npm test here. Let's go ahead and go down to her. And in our services, I'll get bash here. npm watch, npm run watch node. So we gotta get now that we're actually have an API, we need to get our API building. Cool. So there's the watch node. Watch TS. Cool. I don't plan on touching the API, but you never know. Awesome. So let's do one more to launch the actual web app. Oh man. All right, cool. So this is where we're at. So we need to enable some stuff, right? And we need to get our web application working. So we're passing our category ID. And then we'll go ahead and... Oh, was I already doing this? Oh, okay. So... I wonder. I'm just thinking like the way that I set this up. If I want this, cause like right now, so. Yeah, see, we're expecting a model here, an ID for the model. I don't mind doing a simplistic. All right, so let's do this. Looks like great stuff, Dylan. I'm glad you like it, man. We're out here grinding. So. So this simple ID here is basically a user-friendly ID we can call from the front end. That's the idea there. And a simple ID here. But that's the ID we're going to be using to reference stuff in here. It's almost an anti-pattern, so I'm not quite sure. I guess it's not, because we don't really... I'm okay with it. I'll take it back. Alright, so category, find by ID, params ID. Alright, so this is not correct. So we want to do find by... And in here, we'll do simple find. I think there's a find one. Yeah, there we go. I think that's what we want to do here. So now that we've done that, assuming nothing's blowing up, that looks good. That looks good. So slight change to our logic. I think. Okay, so it returned nothing, empty, meaning it wasn't able to find anything. But it didn't blow up. Now, is that because when we go to our YouTube, our category, get all, I think it's because there is no simple ID for our mock data. So what I need to do real quick is to go and make an update. Before I do that, though, we're going to change the I guess the update's fine. But the get is the only one we're going to change. All right, so alright, so if we go over here, so in our category controller, find by ID. Oh, I see. Sorry guys, I have to update some data here, and I have a temporary API key that I just don't feel like exposing. Okay, cool. Achilles, I can't see the screen, dog. How's it going? Alright, so what we will do is copy this, go to here. We don't have a category, but what we do have is a simple ID, and that is JavaScript. All right, so let's go ahead and refresh here. And cool. So now you can see that we got it because we added a simple ID here. Easy enough. Now that we've done that, let's use, so we have this label also. That's going to go up here, and then we have a description. So let's go back to our front end. I'll get rid of this. Get rid of this. Then here, we'll simply return new category. I want it to gracefully fail. And all right. Camera tricks with that big old cat. It's actually the smallest of my 3 cats, but he looks pretty big in front of for the camera, like so. All right, so I got a big old dog though. He's 70+ pounds now, 1 year old. He's just a baby. All right, cool. So mod cat. I don't want this. All right, let's see if that works now. Cool. So we got our description. We're halfway there. Now we have to go into our, oh, that's our services. Doop. All right, category.title. I changed this to label. Now I think that's probably going to blow up because there's no such thing as a label on our category component. All right, so let's do this. Let's jump to our, just having some data binding issues. So in category, so label is coming back as undefined. So that's strange to me because label here Maybe I didn't fully modify the model. Here we go. All right. There's our JavaScript. Excellent. All right. Go ahead and add our simple ID. I'm gonna put it up here, and then you know what? I don't even care about the ID here, to be honest with you. The Mongo database ID. Comparing to some of your earliest videos, you just know what you are, you know. Do you ever take a step back and go with, I couldn't even write / read this type of code 2-3 years ago? You know, I do occasionally. The I'll probably fix that test in a second. Part of it is as I sort of move forward, with so I'm trying to figure out where this test getting its it updates the idea. So component ng on a init, category service, category ID. But yeah, I do on occasion take a second and appreciate how hard I've grinded. That's really how I look at it. Now let's I see. This is Do I know what platform, self-taught or not, podcast is hosted on? Yeah, so the website's hosted on the website is hosted on the Transistor FM site, so that's built into there. Now the The podcast is on a bunch of different platforms, if that's what you mean. It's on Apple, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify or Pandora. I forget which one. Spotify, yeah. Oh, this is why. Do I listen to music by code? Yeah, I'm listening to music right now. Alright, cool. So fix that test real quick. Do Alright, let's go back. I'll log this one more time. Alright, so we have the simple ID there. What is it here? I bet that fixes it. Cannot read. Okay, so it's doing it, but cannot read trim of undefined. Am I trimming anything in here? And let's go back to, let's see if it's in here. It may be somewhere else. It's for sure that, huh? There we go. Alright, cool. So we got our description, we got our ID, everything's golden. Very, very nice. Alright, Alright, one additional thing I need to do is I'm not going to have time to connect to the Facebook API. I think we're at a good spot to commit. All right. I do use a VPN, yes. It's go ahead and launch the test. Alright, cool. Get icon classes. Okay. So let's go to the next thing that we disabled. Tabs containers. We don't really know what we want to do with that yet. Then we have books. I think this is fine. This book's gonna blow up. Alright, so now that we've done that, we want to jump into here. And do we want to create a new model? I'm debating if I want to create a brand, how I want to go about creating the books. Alright, this will do. Yeah, let's go for it. New model. Well. I have not done a video on VPNs, no. All right. Is there a way to change the image color with CSS, for example, a JPEG, or do I need to modify the image directly with a pic editor? I believe There's a couple different ways that you can do that with like RGB. Okay, so actually, so here's the problem. Eventually these books are going to come from an API, I think. I think this is fine. The reason I don't want to build a book schema is I don't want these to manually be updated. So in the meantime, what we're going to do, we added it to our category interface here, is we're going to actually just append it to our document when we send it back. So we've defined an interface of what that's going to look like. Let's do this. Let's export a map. I haven't really used maps. So let's just... Eh. Well... I don't want to do this. This is... Hey, Achilles. Temporary, but I still want it to be nice. Do you want to create a separate book of data for everything? No, that doesn't seem... I think it's okay to create an object. It should be singular. I forget how to do this, man. I saw this the other day. Where it was something like this. There we go. Alright, and now that we've done that, we can jump into our mock data that we had here, because that's going to be what it is. Alright, and so I'm trying to find my book data. There we go. Was April into coding before she met the coding god? No. But you have to understand, man. I met April when she was 20. Is that right? She's 29 now. So, April was an English major. So before she had me in her life, well, it depends on if you ask her. So like she'll tell you that was something she was interested in, but her school didn't. So she got a full free ride to a private school that was $80,000 a year, because she had good grades, and two, because her stepmother at the time was a professor there. So she got a full ride with dorms, whole deal, and they didn't have a CS program. All right, so now we've done that, we've defined our book data here, based for JavaScript. I'll get rid of this. All right, cool. So here are our books, and we can go to our category of model. I don't want it to be part of the category schema. But let's go to our controller here. Category controller. I'll say category books equals books. Now the category dot. All right. So but yeah, so I was talking with April about getting an interesting side project for her going, right? Because I'm a big believer on all that. And I think what we might do is a weekly podcast YouTube channel. Where maybe I do have to add it to the schema. I think I do. I think this happened to me last time. I'm like, I won't add it. I'm just appending it. And they're like, nah, dude, that's not. They don't play that game. But yeah, so she'll tell you that, and then depending on if she's upset with me or not, she'll tell you that okay, so you can see we got our books appended here just fine. So yeah, she'll tell you that, and then depending on how angry she is at me at that moment, she'll say about how her plan was to stay at home and be a writer, and I jacked all that shit up. All right. So we have our books that are getting appended when we get by ID. Excellent. Now that we've done that, we should. Tito, not Tito. Daddy loves you, but not right now, all right? So great. That's happening like so, but I think what we actually want is for this. Let's go back to the jumping between the two apps now. Let's go back to our category component. And here, oh, we already are mapping to books. Look at that. I'm on top of it. I was like, that shouldn't have worked. Cool. So now you can see we're getting our books from the back end. So we're one step closer. All right. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead and enable courses. Yeah, it's coming together. So last thing we need to do is have this go all the way across and then have the playlist go underneath. So we're going to redesign this aspect. We also need to, before I forget, let me get rid of that Facebook icon. So one of the things I wanted to do was to be able to launch that with the Facebook. But we need to connect to the Facebook API, and it's not a must-have. So if we go to, God, where did I put this? We have assets. No, it's app. Views. Might be shared. Nope. Category. Components. Sidebar. Facebook group. That's fine. Share. Components. Facebook post. So let's go ahead and delete that. Let's go ahead and delete that. Let's go into social media. Do auto. Oops. Save that. Let's go to our category module. And there'll be something like this. Very nice. Delete that. All right. And cool. There we go. These two work. The other one doesn't right now. Oh, you know what? Was Ricky free today? I need to talk to Ricky about some animation stuff I'm doing. It was either today or Wednesday. So I'm at like the spot on my so I need to start getting like some resources together for like the videos. This is the first thing. That's just gonna play in the bottom left when the video starts. Goes away. Not too shabby, right? All right. So now that we have that and we're mapping let's jump back to our services real quick. All right, so up next, if I have a spare second, I never have a spare second, man. What are you talking about? Yes. All right. So courses now. All right. So would it make it a little transparent? I don't know yet. So like, by and large, as it is, it's sort of fine but we might have to fine tune it on the. So like, really, what you're going to be seeing is something like this with some text. So like, do we think that it would play nicely right over this? And it might. Well, so it'll be once we get it on a video, we'll have to see like what it's actually going to look like, you know? There's another one I want to make that just sort of shoots my name in and out, right? With maybe a photo. I don't know yet. I don't know quite yet, but okay, so now we want to move this because this eventually will actually come from an API also. Okay. So now that we've done that, let's go to here. Yeah. I don't mind it being a little transparent. I'm just saying I don't know yet. Hey, Tito, come on, buddy. Wait a second. I was like, why did my images work? Because they're hitting a relative path in my application. Ugh. Well. I suppose for now that's okay. But that's really fragile. So what I'm getting from the podcast is Eric is straight and you're a little bit cool. There's a little bit of like Eric's a little bit more politically, I don't want to say politically correct. He's a little bit more how can I put it? He's a little bit more relaxed. No, I'm a little bit more relaxed. He's a little bit more has accepted his fate. Is how I would put it. 1 second. I'm paying for some hosting right now. All right, I have to look more into hosting before I mess with that. We're gonna store it on the front end with the plan to remove it. Who you going with hosting? I've just used GoDaddy in the past, so I'm just going with them. I'm not really too worried about it. We'll see. So one thing I figure out how to actually even deploy. Like I'm using Heroku for the API hosting, if you want to think of it that way, and then I'm using the GoDaddy just because I've used them before, and my stuff's on there, and it's like $7 a month. But I have to see which. They have 4 different plans, and I might actually go for the top tier. We'll see. There's a couple things I gotta take care of first. All right, so hello. All right, boys. Sorry about that. Business call. Yeah. All right. Where was I? The some recruiter has. All right, so we were setting up our courses here, and we wanted to append this on the back end because eventually we're going to transition from it being on here to it what do we call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Coming from an API that we're going to append. So let's go to courses. So we have our title, we have our author image URL, we have our image URL. Title, author, time, and then comma URL. All right. So here's what the app looks like right now, give or take. There you go. It's a beaut. So let's copy pasta 3 of these in here. It's so funny. So I take calls from recruiters about once, twice a week. People are always trying to reach out, and React's really hot, and they asked me about React. And the thing that always cracks me up is that they're so worried that I don't use React. And I'm like, dude, I'll pick React up in like a weekend. Like, honestly, in a weekend. It's like, look, I understand that the average developer sucks. I do. I really do, because I deal with it. But this is why, and I stand by sort of how I interview people. So I'm more interested if they know JavaScript. Forget the framework. We may change frameworks. Get yourself a developer that's that understands how to code rather than memorize frameworks. This should be moved. Why did I even have this here? Cool, and let's actually go ahead and break everything. Oh, that should be good. All right, and now we're gonna say category.courses is equal to courses. Do I use Cypress for testing? No, but we're planning on it in the future, actually, at my work. I'm not quite sure. There we go. All right, cool. So you can see we have our courses. It's being appended here just fine. Very nice. How do you deal with the manager that's forcing you to do some work with the technology you're not interested in? You have to understand you took that job with that technology. One, you can do it, but two, you're probably just better off leaving if it's going to be a long-term thing. You always ask to work on different projects too. All right, so there we have appended our courses. All right, so so that's going through, but instead what we wanted to do, so I believe we hard-coded that. All right, so let's go to Just give him Dolan's number, yeah. I see. Okay. So now let's go to our components. No, views, category. I don't know what this is. What the hell is this? Alright, cool. Alright, cool. So that's coming from the back end, and we can put in some real data down the road. All right, I think that's a pretty good spot to stop at right now. Do I have a console log somewhere in here? Just this one. We're okay with that one. All right. All right. Yeah, cool. We'll leave that there. Let's go ahead and do a quick little Panda Express or Subway. Depends how broke you are. Panda Express if you got money. If you're on the grind, you definitely gotta do Subway, man. I wouldn't do Subway, but I want to see something real quick. What happens if we do +1 or something? All right. I just tested to see if it's going to actually return the default. And it looks like it's not going to. See how there's no books? So instead, what I want it to do is this. And now, we should get an empty array. This will stop it from blowing up. This is temporary, but it's just something I was thinking about. Or, wait a second. Actually, if it doesn't return it at all, we're good. Cool, yeah, if it doesn't return it at all, my defaults will handle it, and the front end will be good. Okay, cool. Whew. All right, guys. So we did an easy hour and a half. I apologize for about the 5-minute phone call I had to take. Not too shabby though. We're getting there piece by piece. So we moved some of the logic from the front end to the server as we always intended, and we're connecting it piece by piece. And probably off stream, I'll go and put in some like real data for this, so it actually gets an idea. And I need to set up some hosting because right now we're hosting these in the front end of the application, which is no good. We don't want that. These are asynchronous resources. But yeah. So anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And if you haven't already, check out my 100 front-end questions course from Udemy, which is a bestseller in the front-end web development category. Has really helped a lot of people get jobs already. And I couldn't recommend it more, and so could the people who are taking it. So with that being said, I'll see you next time. Bye.